Have you ever imagined the importance of onions in your chickens? Have you ever tried to think that charcoal can be a remedy for your birds to stop diarrhea or to stop coccidiosis? Have you ever imagined if you could get pineapple peelings from the market, what they could do with them? Now, we are here with a fermented concoction that has aloe vera, pineapple peelings, that has onions, that has tajiri, that has tobacco, that has charcoal. All this in here, each one has its own purpose. I told you that every month I do one concoction. It's either to treat this and that. This one today, we are doing deworming, we are controlling coccidiosis, which must be done monthly. We are controlling the flu and cough that should be done monthly. You must prevent by vaccinating organically. When you ferment, this is what you get out. Everything as if cooked. But the smell is a bit foul. It's a bad smell. Oh yes, whenever it comes to time like this, I call it now time for the production unit. We at this farm, whatever we give our birds, it's either fermented or direct. Now I've been fermenting this. I've been fermenting in here. There is this aloe vera and bitter melon and charcoal. The purpose of this is to hit coccidiosis out of the chickens. Actually, I'm vaccinating or preventing coccidiosis in here by using all of this. Remember, there is bitter melon, which is also responsible for preventing gumbolo. Now, this charcoal eliminates everything to do with infections or any acidic infections in the chicken's house. So they take it, and now today, I'm adding in something special. Here is the peelings of pineapples. Get them from the market, or when you eat a pineapple, you should just not throw away this thing. So I measure, I put in only one bitter melon, whenever you have to do any concoction, you must measure. In this concoction, I'm having, right now, this is 4 kilograms of pineapple peelings. Then I'll put in 2 kilos of onion. Already these are 4 kilograms. As you can see, these are 4 kilograms, 4.2 something. It's okay, it's okay. Like if I put off and on, you can see this is 4 kilograms of pineapple peels. Then I want to put on 2 kilos of onion. I already put in 2 kilos of aloe vera. Then I put in 1 kilogram of charcoal. We do this because we are trying to see that this one is the major item, which is the pineapple peels. This is the major item. Now this is 2 kilos You may be wondering why we ferment this. We do ferment this because when you ferment, this onion especially, it is not encouraged to give your birds onions because they are acidic to chickens. But when you ferment them, the acidity reduces. Remember, we're trying to treat diseases, especially the respiratory diseases are treated by this onion. When you do this, the enzyme protease is produced. This enzyme increases the breaking down of proteins in this. That means whenever the bird eats this, that is, whenever the bird eats protein, the onions which are fermented, whatever it eats, the protein in it breaks down easily. And then, protein is necessary for the bodybuilding of a bird. That makes the bird strong and healthy. In this onion, we've got the purpose of growth performance. It helps in the growth of animals. The onions have vitamin C in them. That vitamin C is used for protection of a bird. That means the immunity is increased. When the immunity is increased, your birds will live a healthier life, especially layers. These layers live long on the farm. If they are eating well, especially with foods which protect the body, vitamin C, you live to get eggs for even 2.5 years. Onions are rich in fiber. This fiber is also good for animals. They need it. These ones, they are antioxidants. Onions are antioxidants. If you have ever done any layer birds, if you have ever done any layers, when there's a fat on the abdomen of a layer, that layer will never lay. Because the fats stop the birds from laying. If they stop the birds from laying, what are you keeping them for? The birds should be given feed that does not give them a lot of fat. And if they're already having fats, which many farmers struggle with, when the fatty bird is in your birds, it can never lay. So we give them onions which are fermented to cut that abdominal fat. That is the magic of giving onions. Here today, we are trying to see if you combine onions, you combine pineapple peels, you combine with bitter melon, you combine charcoal, you combine aloe vera. What power is in that? Aloe vera, you know very well, it is an antioxidant, a strong plant that controls coccidiosis. The plant that controls all the body weakness of a chicken. Just like onions are good for respiration, the same as pineapple peelings are very good for respiration. We cannot fail to mention that your birds will have the best digestion because there is the pineapple peels which are there. They help in the gut system of a bird. Remember, onions and pineapple peelings are all antibacterial. They boost the immunity because of their antioxidant in nature. So we try to ensure that whatever we do is fermented. Fermentation helps very much our birds to take what is the necessary bacteria. We want to cause this to become a probiotic. This one, this aloe vera in here has been here for 2 days. I didn't boil it at all. You see, it has changed the color. I'm going to add in onions today. I add in pineapple parts so that we make a proper probiotic. Then from today, I'll start adding in maize bland. I want to keep this for 7 days. Then my birds, when they drink it, I'll never have sick birds. By the way, this time we have had a lot of challenges where the eggs prices are so low and the feed prices are so high. That means your birds will be laying at the maximum. If they're laying badly, you're out of business. Because if the birds are not laying and the feeds are high and the egg prices are low, what do you expect? We expect to be out of business. And that's very dangerous. So because I don't have a blender, when I'm working towards achieving, I have to crush these onions always. It's not an easy activity, but I do it. I've been telling you that you either do organic or you do synthetic. With organic, you must not be lazy. There is what we call the flavonoid, which is in this one. In the onions, when you put in other plants, it's going to be very nice because the flavor will come out and the birds will love to eat it. That's including the appetite of those birds. But you can imagine we use onions in all our daily foods. You to use onions, I'm very sure, in the salad, in the vegetables, whatever you cook, we put in the onions. And this is what we also do for our birds. We put in the onion, the birds will like the feed. I can see my eyes. It's a lot of struggle, but what you want pains you. But they say whatever you wish to have, you must sweat for it. Sometimes when I'm making this medicine, I feel like I should take it because you can look at there is pineapple, it is a sweetener. There's a lot of sugars in pineapple. You can look at there is onion that treats flu, cough, and then there is a flavor in the food. Then there is that aloe vera, whereby everybody knows that aloe vera is good for fevers, aloe vera is good for the body immunity. Then there is charcoal. Charcoal that is very nice, a nice thing for detoxifying the body. It removes the smell, just like the onions. It removes all the parasites. So there is always a concoction I make, and I feel like I should take it myself. But of course, as a farmer, I don't expect you to be having flu for more than 2 days in life. Flu? Wow. Even if you drank this, you wouldn't be having any problem. You remember the medicine I make for my birds, the concoction for flu and cough, where I put ginger, aloe vera, no, where I put ginger, where I put garlic, where I put chili, all that concoction. You can never have flu when you drink that as a person also. So right now, we already have our bucket full of other ingredients. That is aloe vera. I'm going to put in this bigger one. Oh, can you see? We have our crushed onions. Then I put in here first. We are going to put 20 liters of water in this because I told you we have used 4 kilograms of pineapple peels. Then we have used 2 kilos of onion. We have used only 1 bitter melon. We have used 1 kilo of charcoal. We have used 2 kilos of aloe vera. Now in this concoction, we are going to add in 20 liters of water because already there is 20 liters of water which was already in the charcoal, in aloe vera. So we are going to make it now 40 liters. That means our birds will drink the 40 liters after 7 days from today. Now, when you want to make probiotics, you ensure that you don't cause wrong bacteria in your container. It must be done with care, carefully. So when we have this, we cover it well. But this time, remember last time when I was boiling the plants, I used to cover with this one. Then it becomes so tight. No, this time it's not becoming so tight. Because we want, at least we don't want it to be over tight. We want them to breathe. The bacteria in here should be breathing. So you don't cover it so tightly. After 8 days or 7 days, your probiotics are ready. I will add maize bland, then my probiotics are ready after 7 days. As you can see, this maize bland here, I'm going to take at least 1 kilogram of that. I put in the probiotics because once it is 1 kilogram, it is enough for the 40 liters I have used. So let's put them together. As you can see, it is exactly 1.04 kilograms, and that's okay. It's okay. If you can observe here, right here, I have not covered it tightly. You can see, so that there is the space, the air coming out. That air will help the growth of bacteria, and that is a probiotic. I shouldn't tie it so much. Right now, if you have never imagined the use of onions in your birds, today I'm going to share with you the use of onions. Have you ever imagined why your birds lay bigger eggs? Have you ever imagined why your birds are laying small eggs? Have you ever imagined why your birds are always persistent with the flu and cough? Have you ever imagined why your birds cannot stop diarrheating? The coccidiosis is always there. This one today, we are doing deworming, we are controlling coccidiosis, which must be done monthly. We are controlling the flu and cough that should be done monthly. You must prevent by vaccinating organically, using the herbs that prevent coccidiosis, and finally the cough and flu, which has become a problem to many farmers. So in this video, let us go together, give it to our birds. It has been a fermented concoction. You can imagine there's nothing that was either boiled or cooked, nothing. These things cooked themselves. You can see the color changing. Just they make their own, they make themselves look like this. If you're doing layers, you must ensure that you prevent different diseases which affect our farms. You must prevent coccidiosis. You must prevent cough and flu. You must ensure that your birds are prevented from diarrhea. Now, if you want to prevent all those diseases, there are some remedies you must do, either synthetically or organically. But for me, as I say always, I decided to do organic so that I can prevent such diseases. I want to deworm the birds. I put in the tobacco. You can see some of the leaves are here. Like the leaves of tobacco, when you put them in, they appear as if they were cooked. This one didn't cook anything. We didn't boil anything. We only put them there and then left them to ferment. Whatever you have to prevent is better preventable when you ferment. Giving them direct does not help you much. It does, but does not help you much. So when you ferment, remember fermenting helps the digestion take place. Fermenting makes the proteins in the body to be convertible easily. So your birds get better weight. By the way, if you have ever seen my birds being sold, the birds are sold at a better price because they are heavyweight. They get the weight because of such concoctions. When you give them onion, the onion gives them the better weight because they convert easily, especially if they're fermented. The feeds are convertible and then they eat well, they end up having weight in the body. Also, if you were to cut the fat on the body of a bird, the lower abdomen, the fat, which makes the birds not lay, you must use onions. Fermentable, you must ferment them. So this is something I've done every month, and I'll keep doing it. You can't do it every day because I do any other remedies. Again, remember we give a lot of remedies on this farm. So when you give them a lot of greens, a lot of herbs, you must know how to detoxify the liver. You know the liver gets toxified, and when it is toxified, you must keep the birds healthy. How do you prevent the liver from getting how do you prevent the liver from getting intoxicated? We give them onions. We ferment the onions, give them to the birds. And when you give such to the birds, there is no way your birds will die. Remember, our birds are to stay here for about 2 years or 2 years and a half. The liver must be protected. If they are broilers, it's okay, but for layers, you must protect the liver. So let me give them. Rose. So you save. When you put the water in the container, you must remove the charcoal, which is at least floating. You also remove the pineapple peels. They should be eaten separated. This is to be drunk. This one, they will love it, of course. It is sweet. It is having a scent. I know they will love it. You're going to see how they love it. The other day, I got a phone call from one of my workers telling me of deworming. I told him, you know what? Deworming is done by our remedies, and the remedy is in the container. So remember, we ferment these things. When you ferment them, they take about 7 to 8 days. So that is what we call a remedy that can treat your birds. You can see how we are enjoying it here. They love it automatically. You separate the jars. Yeah. You can see averagely all the birds are measuring 1.8, 1.7 grams. This is 1.7. You can see this is now 3.5 kilograms together, these two birds. That means each one is measuring at least 1.7 grams. That is the weight of a bird that is laying. If your average weight is this, your birds are laying good eggs. Remember, this is highline brown. It's a brown and highline. Highline are always a bit less weight, but you see these birds, because I give them onions, I give them a lot of greens, a lot of herbs that increase their weight. The weight which is not toxic. You know, the weight which is a lot of fat is dangerous, but this is the weight that is good for layers. So the birds will lay you eggs because the weight is strong. When the bird has the energy to put the egg, that means you're doing well. Usually, the birds like taking. That is their nature. You can see what I put in here. These are onions, the peels, all the leftovers from what we have removed the oil. But the liquid we have removed, the remainders are these. The birds will eat it. If the birds have flu, they have coccidiosis, if they have cough, if they have less weight, all that will prevent and help them to grow, become big, and become healthy. So this is Catapso once again. If you are new in this channel, there is a lot of. So this is Catapso once again. If you are new here, please subscribe. And if you have been here, share this video so that other people can always know that there are things you can do to get our birds in a healthy condition. No flu, no cough, no everything. You can see there is what? They are. These are red ants. There are some red ants in here. But because I put in tobacco, they will have to go away. And onions chase away the red ants. And surprisingly, they are in here. Today they will be off. All of them will have to go away.